Hello, you're watching Qpvn News. I'm Anh Tuấn and we keep you up to date with the headlines. 80th anniversary of General Staff of Vietnam People's Army marked. Ministry of National Defense Command Forces joining mission A80. Vietnam, a responsible member of international community. On September the 6th in Hanoi, the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense held a ceremony to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the Foundation Day of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, September the 7th, 1945-2025, and to receive the title of Hero of the People's Armed Forces. General Secretary To Lâm, Secretary of the Central Military Commission, attended and addressed the event. On September the 7th, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh assigned Comrade Hoàng Văn Thái to establish the General Staff. Under the leadership of the party's Central Committee, the Politburo, directly the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense, and with support from authorities and people nationwide, the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army has grown steadily, gaining outstanding victories in national liberation wars and in building and defending the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. It has affirmed its role as the strategic advisory body on military and defense affairs and the supreme command of the Vietnam People's Army and the militia and self-defense forces. During national construction and defense, the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army has advised the party, state, Central Military Commission, and Ministry of National Defense on key military and defense tasks, restructuring forces to be compact and strong, mastering modern science and technology, improving training and exercises, developing military art, and responding effectively to non-traditional security challenges. These contributions have spread the image of Uncle Ho soldiers and enhanced the country's and Army's standing internationally. The achievements and victories of the General Staff reflect the peak of military art and the party's leadership in the People's War. They show bravery, wisdom, and strategy in creatively applying the tradition of defeating stronger enemies with fewer forces, knowing oneself and the enemy to secure victory. General Secretary To Lâm urged that the General Staff further build comprehensive capacity, stay proactive and sharp in research and forecasting, and promptly give advice on strategy and international relations. He also expressed confidence that with its achievements and heroic traditions, all officers, soldiers and staff of the General Staff will continue to mature and excellently fulfill tasks, deserving the trust of the party, the state and the people. Earlier, General Nguyễn Tân Cương and a delegation of the General Staff laid wreath at President Ho Chi Minh's mausoleum and offered flowers and incense in tribute to heroic martyrs on Bắc Sơn Street. On the afternoon of September the 6th, the Ministry of Vietnam National Defense held a ceremony to commend forces participating in the military parade in the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day, or Mission A80 in short. General Phan Van Giang, Minister of Vietnam National Defense, chaired the event. On behalf of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of Vietnam National Defense, General Phan Van Giang praised and congratulated the officers, soldiers and the militia and self-defense force for successfully completing Mission A80, contributing to the majestic parade. The formations participating in the anniversary ceremony displayed synchronized, unified and powerful movements, while the naval parade left a profound impression, affirming the determination to firmly safeguard the national maritime sovereignty. Notably, the presence of military contingents from Laos, Cambodia, China and Russia symbolized strong solidarity, friendship and international cooperation, reaffirming the sound and effective defense diplomacy policy of the party and state. At the anniversary, the entire forces of the parade, security and service missions became 10,000 as one, all formations as one. The unified footsteps of military forces, together with the masses, created a magnificent picture of the strength of great national unity. General Phan Van Giang emphasized that the performance of the military troops and militia self-defense forces in the parade was highly appreciated by the party and state, the people and international friends. Our military and militia self-defense forces made highly active and effective contribution to the success of the anniversary and parade. The contribution strongly spread a profound message of aspiration for independence, freedom, peace and friendship to international friends, while bringing immense pride and deep emotion to the people, officers and soldiers across the country. At the ceremony, collectives and individuals were presented certificates of merit from the Minister of National Defense and the Chairman of the General Political Department for their outstanding performance in advising, organizing and participating in the activities commemorating the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day. On the occasion of his official visit to Vietnam on the afternoon of September the 6th, Corps General Alvaro Lopez Miera, Minister of the Cuban Revolutionary Armed Forces, and his spouse, together with a high-ranking Cuban military delegation, visited Hanoi-based General Nguyễn Chí Thanh Museum. The delegation included Lieutenant General Đỗ Xuân Tục, Vice Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. Corps General Alvaro Lopez Miera and his spouse, together with the delegation, offered incense to commemorate General Nguyễn Chí Thanh, the first chairman of the General Political Department, and Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Chí Vịnh, former Deputy Defense Minister of Vietnam. Corps General Alvaro Lopez Miera and his spouse expressed deep impression of the life and career of General Nguyễn Chí Thanh, moved during their visit to the museum, a project of profound dedication by Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Chí Vịnh during his lifetime. Corps General Alvaro Lopez Miera affirmed that General Nguyễn Chí Thanh and Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Chí Vịnh were great political and military figures and special friends of the Cuban people. Minister Alvaro Lopez Miera highly appreciated the significance of the 60-year historical dossier on Vietnam-Cuba defense relations initiated by Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Chí Vịnh, including the historical documentary Two Hearts Beat as One, aiming to preserve historical memories and educate the young generation about the special solidarity between the two countries. On this occasion, through Corps General Alvaro Lopez Miera, General Raúl Castro Ruz, leader of the Cuban Revolution, presented the Two Hearts Beat as One film crew with a model of the Granma ship, a treasure of the Cuban Revolution. After more than 10 days of opening, the National Achievements Exhibition held at the National Convention and Exhibition Center still attracts a large number of visitors. The public not only are introduced to the country's outstanding achievements in 80 years of construction and development, but also have the opportunity to interact and participate in experiential activities, particularly in the exhibition area of the Ministry of National Defense. At the exhibition space of the Ministry of National Defense, the organizing committee also served water and field ration to visitors. Although the gifts are small, they show the heart and deep gratitude to the people who have always supported, protected and stood side by side with the Vietnam People's Army for over 80 years. Coming up next, preserving culture, strengthening Vietnam-Laos solidarity. Vietnam, a responsible member of international community. On September the 6th in Vientiane, Phật Tích Pagoda, the pagoda of the Vietnamese community in Laos, solemnly held the Vu Lan Festival. The event not only helps preserve Vietnamese cultural identity, but also enriches the spiritual life of the two countries' communities, strengthening the bond and understanding between Vietnamese and Lao people. Speaking at the event, Mr. Nguyễn Minh Tâm, Vietnamese ambassador to Laos, said that this year's Vu Lan Festival took place in the atmosphere of the whole country, celebrating the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day. This is not only an occasion to show gratitude to parents, but also a reminder of patriotism, solidarity, and the aspiration to build a rich and civilized country. Within the framework of the ceremony, traditional Buddhist rituals of Laos and Vietnam were solemnly performed. The organizers and benefactors presented 300 gifts to people with disabilities, Lao people, and the Vietnamese community in difficult circumstances in Laos. From the aspiration of wanting to be friends with all nations, once affirmed by President Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam today has become a trusted friend, a responsible partner, and an active member of the international community. With the spirit of peace, cooperation, and sustainable development, Vietnam consistently presents the image of a steadfast and responsible nation, ready to join hands with the world for a better future. Vietnam has risen to become a symbol from an oppressed nation. From war to peace, from the willpower to survive to a commitment to act. From budding in 1945 to the Vietnamese flag flying high over ABA, Myanmar, and beyond. Whether it's a voice on the international stage or hands building bridges and roads amid storms and floods, Vietnam is making unsung contribution to a kinder and more peaceful world. If peace is the foundation, then food security is the key to lasting national stability. Vietnam, once a nation that fought for every grain of rice during wartime, has today become a trusted partner in building sustainable agriculture with friends around the world. From rice and coffee to vibrant cornfields in Cuba, this is a journey of shared technology, hands-on experience, and a common dream of a food-secure future. After applying Vietnam's hybrid corn technology, we've seen excellent yields and high seed quality. The maize is abundant, really, with a lot of corn. The collaboration between Vietnamese and Cuban technicians has been incredibly effective. It marks a new era for corn production in Cuba. On foreign soil, Vietnam brings not just quality seeds and advanced technology, but also trust, knowledge, and commitment delivered directly to the hands of farmers. More importantly, Vietnam is working with Cuba to transform agricultural mindsets, promoting flexibility and empowering those who work the land. We helped transition existing infrastructure originally used for crops like sugarcane and corn into rice production. Together with Cuban partners, we upgraded irrigation systems, enabling them to increase from one rice crop to 2 per year. Today, Cuba is fully capable of cultivating around 200,000 hectares of rice at an average yield of 5 tons per hectare. That's 650,000 to 700,000 tons of rice annually, enough to achieve self-sufficiency. Since 2019, the Vietnam Academy of Agricultural Sciences has partnered with Cuba to build a sustainable rice production model, transferring not only technical expertise but also a modern farming mindset, helping Cuba take control of its food security future. But it doesn't stop there. Models for growing corn and coffee are also underway with high yields and tremendous potential for expansion. We firmly believe that with Vietnam's support, we are on a promising path to achieving greater success that will bring prosperity to the Cuban people, to nations around the world, and also benefit Vietnam. There can be no peace where poverty persists, and peace becomes truly lasting when nations share knowledge, technology, and trust. Vietnam understands this and is actively working to make it a reality. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.